Now, I want you to understand what racism is. It is a competitive relationship between groups of people that are competing for the ownership and control of resources, wealth, and power. That is racism. Again, make sure you understand it. Racism is a group-based phenomenon. It's economic-based. It's when groups are competing for the ownership and control of resources, power, and wealth, and to be able to use it to benefit their people. And once they get enough of it, then they can shut somebody else down, they can enslave another group, Jim Crow segregate them, or do anything they want to them. That is racism. No black person can be a racist. It is impossible in theory and practice for a black person to be a racist in America. You cannot be. There's no way you can be. And quit letting people call you a racist because you speak up for your own people. You can't be a racist. Any black person that speaks out in behalf of his own people is not a racist. He is reacting to white racism. All a black person can do is to react to white racism. He cannot be a racist. One of the most racist organizations in America. The United States Supreme Court has never ever done anything to benefit black folk. Never. And they aren't going to do it. You've had the first 57 to 58 people appointed as justices to the United States Supreme Court were slave owners. Black folk progressing in America. No, you're not progressing. That's why they're shooting you down. That's why they're shooting down a black man every other week in some place in the United States, or beating a black woman. These are just the police alone. Dragging you out of cars, beating black women on the street, shooting black men. Why? Because the Dred Scott decision is still in effect. Black lives matter. They never ask the question, black lives matter to whom? To whom? I look on TV every day, and they are walking with signs, black lives matter. They never say, to whom does it matter? You got a law saying you don't matter. And more importantly, if you understand the nature of the system, you would know that you don't matter. Why? Because you see, in American society and in a capitalistic society, value of life is based on what we call personal net worth. Net worth means what are you worth? That's why you hear people saying all the time, John D. Rockefeller is worth. Henry Ford is worth. Bill Gates is worth. They're telling you that value is what you're worth is based on what? What you own and control. E off a race and stuck ISM. ISM means is a suffix which says maintain the prevailing conditions. Now the disadvantage for these black children is that you have never owned anything and never controlled anything. And what you can pass on is what you cannot inherit. Because you see, all of our black leadership have had us focusing on things that are non-inheritable. You cannot inherit food stamps. You cannot inherit public housing. You can't inherit a job. Every time I go to a civil rights organization, they say, what are you doing to enrich black folk and give them something to pass on to their children? They say, well, we're going to try to get blacks some jobs. You can. How are you going to pass on a job to a black child? Why don't you build some businesses with stock, element, and wealth and pass that on to them?